This is probably the best of the series of air shows that we've had at Avalon so far since 1992. This is the 14th, as a matter of fact, in the series. And it has grown substantially over that period of time. One of the purposes of Avalon is to take Australia to the world by bringing the world to Australia. Now, we do that in a number of ways. We do that by bringing an enormous number of trade visitors, delegations. I'm expecting a record number of delegations this time. Don't have the statistics yet, but it'll be approaching 200 delegations from many countries, probably at least 20 countries.
We want to make sure that everyone knows Western Australia isn't just about maritime defence players. It's also about aviation. It's also about land. We've got everything in Western Australia. The Premier and I visited Airbus in the UK when we went there last year. They looked all around the world for the best place to develop their capabilities around their Zephyr pseudo satellite. They're going to base that research and development out of Wyndham in Western Australia. We're already the home of the European Space Agency's ground station, tracking station. And of course we've got the square kilometre array being built near Geraldton. So there's an enormous amount of knowledge and capability most people in Australia, let alone the world, wouldn't know we have right in Western Australia.
This is the first time the Western Australian Government's been present at the Avalon Air Show. The Avalon Air Show is the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. And it's all part of the what we're looking at now in the diversification of industry in Western Australia. We have a thriving aerospace industry, small but thriving. So we wanted to be here to have a look at the opportunities that are coming out of that. So the first day was kind of the conferences. Second day, everyone came down to the trade show, and it was just a buzz. It was really exciting. And the Western Australian companies that I've spoken to were quite the modern vernacular, blown away with what they've seen here. And the number of people who have asked to meet with us as the Western Australian Government and just talk about, it's been an exchange. So what are you doing in Western Australia? What have you got? And what's the government think about this? This is the first show since we've had a Minister for Defence Issues. The first show since we've had a defence advocate. So it's a factor of being here, showing companies that you are here supporting them, but showing Australia that Western Australia is very keen to learn about this space.
With trying to expand and diversify and break into defence projects and so forth, it's quite important that for ICAD to look around and see what other sectors within defence that we can do other than naval. So it's been very interesting, and there's some pretty good gear out there that people are making around the place, moving into space and that type of that frontier now. We've got to gear up for it and see how we can compete on the world market.
We actually won a National Innovation Award yesterday, which was the Avalon 2019 Innovation Award.
Congratulations.
And in fact, we won 2 awards in 2 separate categories, which is outstanding. Did a presentation at a defence conference this morning on applications of airborne camera technology. Yeah, it's been pretty good.
We already knew of opportunities through the Defence Next Generation Technologies Fund and the Defence Innovation Hub. We've now found out that there's even more opportunities through the Jericho program, and they're working directly with academia and with industry to deliver quick wins, and that's the important thing that they see, that they don't want programs going for years. They want to look at a particular technology area, work with good people, and come up with some quick wins within months rather than years.
In relation to WA and the university sector, it's obviously going through an interesting period of change now, and a lot of investment with the foundation of Defence Science Institute and so on.
With the Defence Science Centre being established, that was driven by the WA universities. Team WA won the bid to host with Defence Science Technology the EDTAS on space technologies. This is a great outcome from WA. We're going to see national and international experts around space technologies. There's going to be a 2-day immersive workshop experience where the academics will be really stripped bare of their current worries and concerns, and they'll be having to work through what is the future of space.
What do you hope to, I suppose, generate from business opportunities here, specifically with the aviation market?
So our target focus here is for the joint tactical air controllers and for the combat controllers out of the Air Force and also out of the Army. So it's looking after the land component of that air-to-ground piece that will increase in requirements with the additions of F-35 and with some of the other in-service fast jets. The tactical data links is an important new kind of communication space. It's been around for a long time, but not something that we have done a lot of in the past. And in order to talk to any of the new fleet of aircraft, we're going to have to get in front of that game. So that's one of our focus here at the moment, that tactical data links piece.
I think the future of the sector in WA, you've obviously got defence, so we've got programs like Air 5428, which will be a prominent part of the aviation landscape in WA for a long time to come. We have the Singaporean Air Force operating Pilatus PC-21s out of Pierce Air Base as well, so that will be a significant part of the landscape. Commercially, obviously, Qantas and their plans with the 787 Dreamliner will again be a significant piece of the aviation landscape in the country. Obviously, you have the mining sector, which will continue to hopefully grow and rebirth and relife itself in terms of the impact on the aviation population. And as it grows, you'll see a transition from smaller aircraft to larger aircraft servicing the mining sector. Pilot training is going to be significant. We've got a number of airlines, Singapore Airlines has a college here, China Southern Airlines has a college here, Airflight has started its own flying training college, so we think the environment in Perth will lend itself to pilot training in the future. So we think there's a lot of opportunities there. The oil and gas sector with the large helicopters and the oil and gas contracts that are in place in Western Australia means that something like our rotary wing maintenance business has the potential to grow and expand. So we think WA is very well positioned aviation-wise, in part because of its isolation. There's great advantage and there's also difficulty, but if we harness those advantages in the right way, we have a competitive positioning for the captive market in WA that's hard to lose.
So we focus on formulation and tailoring of engineering polymers, epoxies, thermoplastics, thermosets, that sort of thing. We don't have much of a history in the aviation industry, to be fair, so things like AS 9100 are going to be a big thing for us to get over the next few years, I suspect. Most of our work has probably been more marine focused, but the idea of coming here has been to learn about aviation, learn about aerospace, and learn what we need to do to help them. We've got some work with Austrade later today, talking to a few foreign companies that would like to move into WA, and hopefully we can build a relationship with them.
Bennett & Co is a corporate commercial litigation firm based in Perth. We have about 60 to 70 staff, about 40 lawyers. Yeah. I'm the only one with a strong interest in defence, though I'm rallying the troops behind me. My background is in drone regulation on the commercial side. But being here today, it's interesting to see the interplay between the defence and the commercial spheres. Just to have everyone in the one place and to walk around and be able to see the different systems is so interesting. Fixed wing systems, you've got quadcopter, small drones, you've got larger drone concepts in play, urban air mobility concepts I've heard whispered around the traps. And all of these things, for me, mean that I can go back to Perth and start to put a plan together as to how I might start looking more into the sector as a source of work for Bennett & Co.
TBH is a national company, but we do operate locally. So we do have offices here in Melbourne, Adelaide, and also WA in Perth. So the idea, I guess, with Avalon is to expand our defense market, in this particular region. And Avalon is the prime, event for us to get our brand out there and introduce some of our capabilities and experience in defense.
And how are your operations in Western Australia going?
It's going quite well. Actually, we just have our second engagement about to start with BAE system. So we helped them last year with governance review, and now we're going to stage 2 discussion with BAE system. So it's been quite good.
Given that we are a maintenance service support hub within the north of Australia, of course we want to position ourselves to be able to support more broadly all of the platforms within defence, and also those infrastructure upgrade projects as we move forward. So we're in Northern Australia, we're in a region, if you like, and very similar in nature to that of Western Australia and also Queensland. So it's in our interest to work with those states to ensure that Northern Australia is very much a key part of defence and its security of the nation. We've got 24 million people to our south, we've got 400 million people to our north. As an opportunity to service that region, it makes sense for us to also partner and collaborate with our international partners.